So, you listen or read the medical report. Now, have you listened or read about Amos on a medical report? Because you need to do that to balance the equation. So you need to look at Amos on a medical report in the whole Joseph Parker capital building case. So then listen.
This children could get crazy from the kind of beating. And trust me, man, when they take you to NSA cell and joke, cigarette people torturing you, enough fun. There are too many things that the children may not have explained. There are too many things they may not have explained. Now let's go to Amos Kofa. Let's go to Amos Kofa. You see Amos Kofa led the whole medical report showing how the man's whole body was bruised up. We're going to read what Amos Kofa's report is saying. This is how terrible it is. Like I said, we got all the reports here in our possession. All the reports in our possession. Everything. So what they call? Yeah, the history, alleged torture. So these are all the things that they did. So Tomokova said he was handcuffed and suspended from a beam. I mean, they pull you on handcuff, then they handcuff you, then you hanking. Your feet touching ground. You hanking on the binding stop or some kind of pillow. You know, then you got he sustained arterial chest wall and lower back injury when shoved in the immigration office, falling on a bench. At Central Police Station, he was flogged with an electric wire on the posterior lateral aspect of his left thigh. He was subjected to generalized physical assault, including beatings over multiple body regions. He denied sexual assault or sodomy. So timeline of events, alleged incident, blah blah blah. Current complaint: numbness and pain in both hands and wrists, chest pain, headache, intermittent numbness and pain inside of injury on the left thigh. General examination. The general examination is there. They did all of the other stuff. Physical examination, skin and soft tissue findings. So under the findings, finding number 1, bilateral wrist scarring consistent with prior handcuff injury. So the medical finding, it confirmed that he bilateral wrist, the wrist, they play what they can put a handcuff. It shows that it was handcuff and the handcuff almost touched the man, boom. So, to the extent that it created severe injury to a hand. Let's go to the next finding. The next finding has to do with, what is this one? Yeah, hypopigmented lesions over the left, over the left side, consistent with prior whipping injuries. Meaning they flogged the man on his thigh, Amos Kofa. And after the examination, it was clear that he had bruises to indicate that he was flogged. Interpretation. The continuous findings are consistent with the patient's account of handcuff suspension and whipping. In photo 1, in the first photo, bilateral wrist scarring, consistent with handcuff-induced injury. So, the guys on the call when they put a handcuff to number 1. So they cuffed the man to the extent, and all of these things were intended to make him lie on himself.
Like you were in pain.
So once they put a handcuff to number 1 and tell you, my man, you see how that thing happened to you? My man, don't ask people. Just say that you don't want to do it.
And if your tolerance for pain is not as high as others,
so if you're not brave enough to bear that pain, the handcuff can squeeze your hand to the extent where you would think that your hand can be caught. So some people under that condition, they can even lie that they don't want to kill Jesus Christ. Some people, they can even lie that they don't want poison Joseph digging rubber only because they want that handcuff to be removed. And you get a chance, they will tell you they don't want to kill Tottenham. So then, if you grab some young people, you put them on that kind of handcuff and tell them, say, you got to say what when you say. They will even add that they don't want to kill Tottenham and Tottenham. That's the widest thing torturing can do to people. And so when they make all of these statements behind the scene, under duress, under coercion and torturing, when they came out and said, look, we made some statements in those rooms, but those are not what we actually did. We made a statement out of pressure. They beat us. They beat us. The government lawyer said, Allah, we didn't beat them. That's how the judge said, but then let's carry the children to the hospital and examine them to see whether for true they beat them. That the hospital report there. The second report we are reading now, the report is also aligning that the conditions they examine are conditions that are consistent with their allegation of torture. Let's go read Amos something. Photo number 1, bilateral race carrying consistent with handcuff-induced injury. Number 2, hypopigmented lesions over left posterior lateral thigh, consistent. So they mean thigh. I mean, these are black and white images, but the original images will go to the court. You will see how injured the man thigh is. Now let's go to the next one. Photo number 3, close view of bilateral race scars showing irregular hued tissue. So the handcuff, when they put the handcuff there first, it created sore. But over time, because they spent over 9 months in jail, obviously the sore will heal. So the third photo is showing the sore that the sore mark. They mark the sore left there when they put the handcuff on him. Look, let's say normally, and they put handcuff on, and you go back, they see what they hand to carry in the subbies. You know, no sore on their hand, right? You know why? Because they place the handcuff there so that they cannot run away. But when you thank you. When you administer the handcuff in a way that is supposed to torture the suspect, that's how they did to the guy. The particular guy, that's how they did to him. They place the handcuff on number 1, beyond number 1, they squeeze it to the extent when they put the handcuff on number 1, the handcuff can be on the flesh. It can pop by the flesh and on the bone, that on your bone, it can be sitting. So if that handcuff on the bone and the guy say that you can't do that in Robert, so we're free. What will you do?
When I was not born.
What will you do?
I'm going to say
that handcuff sitting on your bone and the guy say the handcuff been sitting on your bone for almost 2-3 hours. Oh my man, you crying on there, you say what they call, just say, you have the recorder here, just say you don't want to Joseph in Robert, we'll move it. And let's say at that kind of hour, you are in serious pain. You are in serious pain. The next thing you want to do at that moment is to give up. It's just low. Yeah, I don't care to get rubber because you want to be free, for that moment. Hoping that there will be another day where you will relax and come back to defend yourself. Especially when you never had your lawyer there, you never had anybody, and you are under extreme pain, intense pain. Let's go back to the next one. What is it? I mean, these are medical words, so I ain't going to wrestle with them too many times. Head and neck external inspection normal. Strokes and abdomen, no abnormality. Abnormality detected. Then you got musculoskeletal system. Wrist joints tender, but structurally intact. Shoulders joints normal. Okay, so genital anal examination not performed. Blah blah blah. Yeah, neurological examination oriented to present, place, and time, normal, gait, this, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's go to the summary. Let's go to the summary. Medical opinion. The physical findings of bilateral wrist carrying are highly consistent with the patient's account of suspension while handcuffed. Look, they put handcuff on the man, then they hang him up. When they handcuff you and your feet not touching the ground, Alexa, you are hanging on iron. In that kind of position, you will even tell the people say that you kill Gaddafi in Libya.
Even when you did not know it.
Even when you are not even going outside Liberia. Under that condition, you tell people say you the one kill Patrice Lumumba. Thomas Sankara, you will even tell people say you kill them. Because you want to be free at that moment. You are hanging on number 1, handcuff. Number 1, and you are hanging. You are suspended. When they say, handcuff suspended, it means you are hanging. You are hanging, bro. Yes, the handcuff on you. Apparently some gonna cheat around some gonna how you call the thing banister. So they will put the handcuff on you and they pass the handcuff through the banister, then you hanging. That's torturing. It is demonic.
Just imagine.
It is terrible.
Like, how are you going to cope with that?
It is terrible. That's the first opinion. Then the hyperpigmented lesions on the left thigh is consistent with the described history of flogging with an electric wire. That The medical report, this is an international hospital. The Americans can go there. The British can go there. All of our foreign partners can go there. The hospital Royal Boston Foreign Affairs. You seen it? You seen it? The psychological manifestations are consistent with acute stress reaction and possible PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder
Because you handcuff somebody on the boom, you look at the man and tell him, say, my man, we got 3 fat men in that place. And you now want to tell the thing why when you tell them men, they will come here and they will roast you. They will do gay things to you. And you not taught you.
You're going to be sodomized.
But you are in a room where you can see nobody. Alexa, you're in a community where you don't know where you are. You only see people with guns, people with wire, people with pepper spray, people got barbed weapons. They got one room where I know that all better go to put in the room, they better go die. They open the room smelling. And they tell you, say, one of your men was adding stuff on that he okay. He the one inside, he bought it inside there. So you smelling all kind of thing, all the kind of conditions happening to you. The next thing you want to do is say, oh, that make it, I don't want to do it. Because you want to be free. They take you to one room that's smelling. Why not go to put out a real human being die there? You don't know. But the time you say you are funny, tomorrow you could end up like this. You don't want to end up like that. So if a man lying, say you can't do that, you will say it. Now the guy said, look, we said some things in those rooms that they carry us to. Yes, we said some things. But you know why? We didn't say those things because we actually did what we said. We said those things because we were being beaten, we were being tortured, we were being treated from an inhuman perspective. So we made those statements under duress, under our laws. You don't take evidence from the quote unquote suspects and whatever the case is in the absence of their lawyers and without those individuals being honest. That's why those who are levying the accusation should have their evidence. When you get evidence, you keep it. You say, man, I know that you burn a place, but please can't tell me that you burn it or not. The man say, you're not me burning. Then you go to court and you find your evidence. Maybe you got video. Maybe you got other things to prove. But the only thing you got to prove, say the minute that they burn a place, that the thing where you made them to tell you when you were flocking them.
And they got back out, they automatically explained that the things that are said in that recording, we said those things under duress.
Under duress.
We were forced.
Under duress. Tortured. Now,
so I don't know how it makes sense though.
Yeah.
And is there a part in our laws that we say, how do I say, does the court accept, these pieces of evidence that are made under duress?
No, I'm not too sure.
Because I want to understand that first.
No, I'm not too sure.
Because it is not possible.
I'm not too sure. And that is the reason why we are calling on the judge to dismiss this whole evidence. Free the people children from jail and let them come outside. Let Gregor come and go find those who burned Capitol building. It was his men who were on duty that night. When Greg was assigning those men to protect Capitol building that night, what was the TOR? So we call their girlfriend there under the tree and be doing hide and seek.